What's up, guys? It's your boy. No. What's up, guys? It's Poppykoch. It has been a while since the last podcast. It's been a few weeks. This is mainly due to the fact that I did not have a computer to record from. I'd like to plug in my audio interface into something that, I don't, to a fucking computer. Otherwise, I'd have to record off my phone, which I did try, but it just sounded so bad. And I'm a little sick and I'm a little nasally, if you can't hear already. So that just sounded worse. It just exacerbated the whole fucking problem. So yeah, we have a computer back for right now. We will see what happens in future episodes, but let's get right into it, guys. The first thing I definitely would like to drop on you guys is that that bill, or that Repeal Act, or whatever the fuck it is, that just passed the Senate and is now passed the House, I believe, that essentially would allow internet service providers to sell our browser history. Yeah, you heard me right. That is literally that is some fucking Orwellian type just shit right there. Holy fuck. So, just totally lost my train of thought, guys. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty fucking scary if you ask me. And, big surprise, there was a very large, aka $600,000 quote-unquote donation given to the congresswoman who introduced the bill, or the act to repeal our privacy protections. So yeah, +1 for fucking democracy, right? No, not at all. But there is a cool movement kind of going on. Just recap really quickly, actually. Let me just finish recapping this. It made it past the Senate. It moved on to the House yesterday. I believe it passed the House, and now it's only awaiting the signature of Donald Trump for it to be enacted. And we expect, or people expect, him to sign it. So perhaps by the time that this gets out, it may already be in effect. I don't know. But I think this is worth talking about, especially because you probably... Well, I think the only medium that I upload this to is YouTube. So, yes, this affects you because you are listening to this. Essentially, yeah, they'll be able to sell your browser history. And I guess this really doesn't mean a lot for the average Joe. But, I mean, if you don't think this matters, let me put it in perspective. If you ever get into a position of power, right? Let's say you ever have a position of power. You're trying to run for fucking public office. You know, you're the head of a company, whatever the fuck it may be, right? Another company, another third party can buy your internet browsing history for like $10,000 and then just do whatever they want with it. That's crazy. That's insane. They could blackmail the shit out of you. So, one of the cooler things I actually ended up seeing on Reddit about this, I know H3 talked about this, so perhaps you've seen this already. Heard about this, that there is kind of a growing sentiment to start a GoFundMe or some sort of Kickstarter, some sort of crowdfunded operation in order to purchase and release the browsing history of the congressman that voted on this act, which I think is a fucking fantastic idea. H3 was the one who promoted it very much. I saw it on Reddit. But after I watched this video, I ended up calling my local representative and leaving him a phone call, and I will actually read out to you what I wrote. And let me just tell you, my fucking my representative, Leonard Lance, this fuckface, like, I tried calling his 3 offices, one in DC, one in wherever the fuck. He's got 2 other ones, right? 2 out of the 3 offices had full messages, just so happened to be that way. You know, they never fucking answer. I've called a couple times. I've called my representatives a couple times. Never once. I'm going to move the microphone down so you might get a little feedback. Never once have I ever received, have I even fucking talked to a person, and I've called during fucking, like, business hours, or fucking, you know, yeah. I guess business hours is really the appropriate way to say that. Okay, so I got my quick memo open. So I ended up calling my representative, and this is what I told them. I said, "Hi, I'm calling in an effort to reach my district representative, Leonard Lance, in order to inform him that as his constituent, I urge him to vote against the repeal of the Internet Privacy and Protection Rights. If the repeal is to go through, the browsing history of all Americans will be available to be bought and sold. This offers only negative effects for our people, the nation, and the world. Furthermore, should the repeal follow through, many online communities have already begun talks of crowdfunding money in order to purchase and release the browsing history of public servants and their families. Please be aware that this sentiment is shared thoroughly throughout my demographic and will be a piece of legislation that will be monitored, along with those who vote on it." So, I realized that, like, this isn't, it's not one phone call really isn't going to do anything. It really is the collective that makes the difference. But you know what? The collective is made up of the individual calls. And I almost didn't say this because it almost sounded like I was threatening them. But in reality, I'm not bothered. In retrospect, I'm really not bothered by what I said because it just seems fair. It just, our congressmen are being bought and sold fucking constantly, and they don't give a shit about us. They really don't give a fuck about us, and this really puts the nail in the coffin, that they don't give a fuck. They really just don't give a shit. So yeah, that's a thing now. So people will be able to buy and sell browser history, assuming that Donald Trump signs this in. So isn't that a little fucking scary? Like, I feel like you could blackmail anyone. Like, God knows if someone looked in my browser history, like, that's it. I'd be done. I don't know. That's some fuck shit if you ask me. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just part of the whole fucking broken system that the government is right now. So I don't know. Just, it's good to be aware of that, guys. Just be aware of it. If you see if I end up seeing the GoFundMe come through, because I don't know how that would work. I don't know who'd purchase it, how they'd ensure that they'd be purchasing browser history or whatever. And you know what? I bet those congressional fucks are going to make an exemption for them that they and their families are probably that they can't have their browser history sold, which is some fuck shit, because they did that with the Spying Act. Whatever spying fucking law they passed through. It's okay to spy on the domestic people, but like if you can't spy on Congress. So, we'll see what happens there. If that happens, if they end up going through with that GoFundMe, I will try and post it wherever. But I know no one from my YouTube channel follows my Twitter, so I don't know the fuck I'll post it. I'll probably try and post it in my next video if it's up by then. But God knows, when am I gonna fucking post? All right, so now that we've moved on from that, what to talk about? Oh, I went to the fucking... Okay, so there's this, like, indoor zoo near my house. And they got all these crazy fucking animals. They had, like, snakes and fucking turtles and frogs and really, really cool animals. They had a groundhog, a possum. Fucking possums are immune to Lyme's disease and rabies. That's nuts. I wonder, probably people that are much smarter than I are working to, like, reverse engineer their genetic code that makes them fucking immune to these horrible diseases. I mean, they're not horrible. I mean, Lyme's disease you can survive, and rabies if you get your shot. I don't know how the fuck it works with rabies, actually, but I know rabies is pretty fucking crazy. So yeah, that's something I learned that was crazy. Oh, they brought down, it was only me and my friend, so they kind of like were like a little bit more chill because it was just us. And they brought down this big ass python. I don't know what kind of python it is, but it was just like this big yellow, like classic looking python, and it was fucking huge, at least 10 feet, like no shorter than 10 feet. I actually posted a picture on my Instagram. I don't know if I'll post my Instagram account here, or like a link to it, or my fucking Twitter. I might do both. Fuck them. Okay, so anyway, so I fucking saw this python. It was fucking huge. Oh my god, and like, it's not even the length that wowed me. It was the thickness, the girth. Oh, that girth. Yeah, it was the girth. It was so, when she handed it to me, like, the first thing that was, like, totally notable about it was its muscle. And I get it, like, it's a constrictor, like, that's literally what it does. It just flexes the life out of you, But it was so strong. It was literally, like, fucking, like, that guy who goes to the gym all the time and, like, you feel his muscles one day? You know what I'm saying? Like, that really buff guy that everyone's felt that dude's muscles, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like that, but just, like everywhere. There was not a part of its body that did not feel muscly like that. And I probably sound like a fucking retard. You're like, no duh, But, like, it was a very, very interesting experience. And, yeah, I don't know. I asked them, I was like, by the end of the fucking tour, I was like, hey, do you guys have any like job openings? And they actually did. So that night I went home and I wrote up a resume and a cover letter, and I sent it in. It's been about 3 days now, so we will see. We will fucking see, you know? Hopefully I get that job. I mean, it just seems kind of lit. Like, even if I don't get paid that much, the experience seems to be very worth it. I don't know. I'm saying a lot. Keep doing that. Here we go again. I'm doing it again. So, yeah, it was just, you know, I called them. No, I didn't call them. I fucking handed them the resume. They were like, blah, blah, blah. Everything is good. So I'm just waiting for them to call me back. So hopefully they do. Hopefully I get a position there, because that seems really fucking fun. They had this little alligator. I got to hold a tarantula, an old-ass tarantula. It was like 10 years old. That was fucking, I'm not gonna lie, that was really cool. Let's see. I saw this, like, snake thing. I don't know what the fuck it's called. It looked like a snake except for the head. The head looked a little bit less like sleek and more like a club, like a caveman club. It was just more blunt. It was more round. Why does it look like I'm like getting lower as I'm speaking? I hope this is a reasonable volume for you guys to hear me. So yeah, I'm looking at this snake and I'm like, I'm asking questions about it because I'm a fucking dork, and I'm like asking a ton of questions about everything. And apparently this snake, it's not even a snake, it's a fucking lizard, because it's got hip bones in its body, inside the body. You wouldn't be able to tell just from looking at it on the outside, but it had hip bones inside the body. And it's indigenous to fucking like the East Asian mountains. And so they kind of just evolved to, like, not need legs and give it a couple, you know, million years or whatever, and that the fucking hip bone would be gone. But, you know, something that separated it as well was that it had eyelids. And apparently having eyelids means a completely different skull structure. And they see in the visible spectrum, which as opposed to snakes who see in, like, the infrared spectrum. Which is crazy. I don't know, what would it even be like to see in heat? You know what I mean? You're just fucking walking around and, like, you just see everyone's fucking sweaty pits lighting up. I guess that'd be kind of normal, but, like, you could definitely tell when someone's, like, fucking freaking out or something. They're just, like, their face just gets all, like, kind of yellowy and fucking shit. Well, you know what? Fuck me. I don't even know. Maybe they interpret it as a different color. That's interesting. I wonder if they'd probably be able to interpret it as a different color, or if they see it. I don't know. What would that even look like? Like, does the brain interpret it as a different signal? I wonder. I wonder if the colors we see on the visual spectrum are like the default signatures, like the default stimuli. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm fucking don't know anything about what I'm saying. Actually, there's something interesting I'd like to say. The fucking mantis shrimp. Look this shit up. The mantis shrimp has, like, you know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm gonna look it up fucking right now, guys, just for you. This shit is awesome. So apparently it has like 15 cones, as opposed to like humans who have like 3. Okay, come on, give me the interesting things about it. Claws, who gives a fuck? Eyes, okay. Okay, the mantis shrimp is one of the most elaborate visual systems ever discovered. Compared to the 3 types of color receptive cones that the humans have, yeah, so 3, we have 3. The mantis shrimp has 16 color receptive cones. Holy dick. The shrimp is capable of turning the sensitivity of its long wavelength vision to adapt to its environment. That's fucking crazy. So does this thing basically mean that, like, okay, so if you see in the visible spectrum, right, and you're like, all right, I'm a little bit done with that visible spectrum, time to go fucking Modern Warfare 2, turn on infrared, bam, you see niggas in the woods a couple fucking meters away or whatever. That is awesome. That is so cool. Wow. Huh. 16 photoreceptors. Insane. 12 for color sensitivity, others for color filtering. Oh, so I wonder if this means that it sees colors that we can't. That's like trying to think about a new color. Like, just take a second. Take a second, everyone. You know what? I'll do it with you, okay? Listen, everyone close your eyes fucking for 10 seconds. Just try and think of a color that does not exist. Just try and think of a new color. You fucking can't. You can't. It's impossible. That's insane. So they're literally doing something we can't even conceptualize in our head. That's amazing. So yeah, that's Mantis Shrimp. Let's see, what else did I fucking... Oh, hopefully I didn't fucking just clip the shit out of this. Alright, good. It's all good. I'm slouching in my chair as I'm like more as I talk, and like I have to keep lowering the microphone to adjust it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can't hear me at all, because for me, like on Audacity, it just straight up looks like a fucking like smallest little bumps for when I'm talking. But I think it'll be okay, to be honest. You know what? Okay, so what the fuck to talk about next? I went to New York. The New York, the concrete jungle, as I think Beyonce says. I gotta say, I don't like New York. No disrespect to the city. There's a lot of awesome opportunities, and there's a lot of things that I'd love to do in the city, and I'd love to go back to the city, but I just couldn't live there. I just couldn't do it. I hate the noise. I feel is it bad that I feel like completely overstimulated when I'm in the city? Like I just hate the sounds of all the horns. I don't mind the people. The people don't bother me so much. That's not the worst part. I just don't like the street sound. That's bothersome. That's really, I mean, I assume that like you get used to it pretty quickly if you live there. But like I don't know. I need trees and shit. Like I need open spaces in the woods and to be alone. You know? That's just me, of course. That's my preference. But I don't know. I always look at the city, and it's kind of like obviously like Central Park's very nice. I like that. I appreciate that about that. I appreciate that about the city very much. But overall, I couldn't see myself living in there. It's just not the kind of person that I am. And I feel like, there's no disrespect again to New York, but I feel dirty after walking through New York. Like there was I was walking through with this girl and one of my friends, and I just felt like mist hit me, and I couldn't tell if it was like from the sky, like if it was just fucking raining. Hold on, I got a phone call. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. That was my boy Hector the Protector. We're going to see that movie Kong tonight. King Kong, nigga. Yeah, you know what? Speaking of New York, got to see that King Kong. But that has very little to do with New York at this point. Anyways. So, yeah, I don't know. I fucking felt like I felt like grime was falling from the sky, and it felt dirty. Like everything smelled bad, and it was dirty. And mind you, I was in Little Italy at the time. So, you know, I don't know shit about New York, so maybe that's like, you know, maybe I'm a shitty place, but it seemed kind of nice. The food, we went to a restaurant, it was pretty fucking good. Had some of the best Merlot I've ever had. That was some really good wine. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, we're gonna go see King Kong. I'm totally about those monster movies. I don't know what it is. I'm like 4 years old at heart because I just love seeing big monsters fucking fight each other. And I am waiting for the day that a movie with a giant motherfucking arachnid happens. There's that one movie where the giant spiders take over the ship, and I barely remember anything about that fucking movie, but I thought it was cool when I was little, and I'm down to see more giant spider movies, okay? Giant monsters, fucking big fan of Cloverfield, except I hate that movie because they barely showed the monster and it was gay. By the way, oh my god, let's talk about 10 Cloverfield Lane. Holy fuck, what a movie. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says, and listen, I've only seen it once, and I'm no goddamn movie critic, alright? But that was that was a mind fuck and a half. I mean, not a mind fuck in the sense of like, very cerebral, you know, like, cognitive puzzles that you have to like, kind of like piece the story together. Not like Inception, not like Shutter Island, not like Arrival or anything. It was more just a mind fucking like just the twists that the story had, which were just insane. Okay. I know a lot of people hate 3D, but I wonder if 3D's... I like 3D for the most part. I don't know. I have to wear glasses, so it kind of fucks me up. So where was I? Totally lost my train of thought. What the fuck was I talking about? God damn it! God damn it! Oh, yeah, that movie, fucking 10 Cloverfield Lane. So basically, and spoiler goddamn alert at this point, okay? Basically, this fucking, this bitch is driving in a car, right? She gets into a car accident, wakes up in a doomsday shelter, all right? So she's in the doomsday shelter with two other dudes. One guy who built a shelter and that dude's best friend. Now, the best friend and the guy, they seem like pretty normal guys, all right? They seem pretty chill. She obviously thinks she's being fucking held captive, reasonably so, you know? So she fucking is, like, trying to escape for the longest time, and he's like, you can get the fuck out, like, if you're gonna fucking be this way, bitch. Like, I hope you know the world, like ended. The world has ended at this point, and so she doesn't believe him. She finally goes all the way, like, to the top of the bunker and watches as this bitch comes up to the bunker, because I don't know how she knew, and she's like, please let me in, and she just, like, died on the spot, and she had all these, like, weird blisters and fucking lesions all over her face. So finally the bitch gets it, you know. She's like, all right, the world has ended at this point, it's fucked, we're all fucked. So they start living pretty happily together, until, like, I don't know, she stops following his rules or something, and, long story short, goddamn Louis, just moving the goddamn mic all over. Long story short, the dude fucking shoots his friend, just kills him outright. I'm doing a terrible injustice to this movie by just spoiling the shit out of it and not fucking, like, you guys need to see it. You guys need to you know what, I'm not gonna say anything else. Just fucking watch 10 Cloverfield Lane, and, no, you know what, fuck him. Because at the end, there's something I really got to talk about there. Because she goes through all this shit. So it turns out the fucking guy that kept her there, he's crazy. And he is the one that pushed her off the road. He tailspun her car with his truck right before, like, all this shit went down. So she woke up in there unconscious. He purposely not, like, destroyed her or, like, wrecked her so that he could, you know, collect her and bring her down to the bunker at the end of the world. And I think he tried making her daughter or some weird shit. He turned out to be a really big fucking freak. And so she's like, well, shit. And she finally just escapes to the outside, and she gets outside, and, like, you think, like, okay, the world has ended, what are you gonna do? She's wearing this hazmat suit that she had, like, you know, haphazardly made herself in the bunker. She gets outside, and what do you fucking see? What do you see at the end of the, like, right there at the last few scenes of the movie? A fucking alien ship is just flying by. What the fuck? It's literally, like, you see it in the horizon. It's very beautiful. It's a very cinematic movie. Check it out. It's a good fucking movie. It's fun to watch. It's suspenseful. It's got a ton of fucking twists, even though I just spoiled every fucking last one of them. But she gets outside. There's a ship floating off. She's in a cornfield. She gets out of the bunker. It is like dusk or sunrise. And it's very beautiful, like that nice orange hue to everything. And of course there was corn. It's very flat. And then you just see, like, off in the distance, like at least like 500, 600 meters away, there's a fucking alien ship just flying by, just cruising on by, just cruising. And she's like, what the fuck? And literally the viewers are feeling the same way, or as a viewer I felt the same way, because it was like, holy shit, she just went through all this goddamn, you know, all these grievances. She had so many grievances, and she escaped them, and then only to fucking, like, literally be confronted with, like, the craziest shit ever. I thought it was a bold move as a director to make. I get it. I know that it's a monster movie. Or like a monster premise on the movie. Louis keeps fucking moving the mic. So I don't know. I thought it was, I think for, like, you have to walk into it with no expectations. And just let go of the fact that it's called Cloverfield and completely disregard anything about that was stating that Cloverfield or 10 Cloverfield Lane was in any way a fucking sequel. In any way a sequel to Cloverfield as a whole. So, yeah, great fucking movie. Great movie. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. I started this club. I went to school. I was at school, and I was like, all right, well, Excuse me, Jesus. I went to school and I was like, all right, let me fucking do something social. I gotta go out more. I gotta do more things. So I was looking at the club sheet and I saw outdoors club and I like hiking, and then that kills two birds with one stone because I can bring fucking Louis with me, and I'm getting him some exercise because this fucking dog needs so much goddamn exercise. It's not even funny. So I was like, all right, word. I'm gonna go join this. I go to the main office to ask them about it. I asked the fucking like information lady, and she's like, yeah, that's not a fucking club anymore. They discontinued that for lack of membership a couple years back. And I was like, oh damn. And she's like, oh, but you can make it if you want. And I was like, sure, all right, call me president. Call me El Presidente. So I start the club, and I swear on my left tit, when she told me the room, because the secretary that was helping me, when she told me the room, I heard 127, and I wrote that down on all the flyers, I emailed that in, had that produced, and they handed me the flyers back. I handed out all those fucking flyers, almost like, I would say at least like half of them, and then people went to the wrong fucking room. It was the wrong room. It was 271. And the worst part about this, I was so mad because I was like, I swear I heard her say 127. And the worst part about it is that today I was drawing with chalk outside the main center of the campus where you can advertise for your club, and I put 217, which isn't right either. It's not even fucking 217. It's 271. 271. So for the second week in a row, I didn't have a meeting at all with my fucking club, which was pretty disheartening because there was a 217, as opposed to last fucking was no 127. There was no 127. It actually ended at 126, the classes. So I was fucked. I was like, all right, well, that's real shitty. There was a 217, but it was out of the way of the rest of the numbers, so, like, I don't expect anyone to work that hard to actually look for it. So that sucks. So, but I was like, well, shit, you know, I waited outside the classroom and no one was there, so, it was kind of a bust anyways, even, like, no one showed up or whatever. And as I realized this too late, sitting outside of 217, I'm like, oh fuck, I drew on the center of the campus. I put the wrong fucking room again. So I had to go out there and fucking change it to 271. I even fucking drew a little arrow, and I was like, for real this time, underneath the fucking classroom. So that was fucked. I'm a little disheartened because it seemed like a lot of people wanted to join, and I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to be like the leader of a club. I thought that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to organize some shit. I had a couple people email me to try and get the schedule, but you know, obviously there's no schedule for this week, so I don't know, you just gotta take it in stride. I know this seems so silly, but like, I've been watching Parks and Rec a lot, which is a fucking fantastic show. Don't watch the first season. Everyone says it. It's so true. Don't watch the first season. It's total ass garbage, tits, fuck shit. Watch everything after the first season. But if anyone's watched Parks and Rec, there's the main character, Leslie Knope, is this fucking Parks and Recreation Department manager or whatever. And she just takes everything in stride. No matter how her town treats her like total dick, and she just fucking takes it in stride. So I tried to pull the page from the handbook of Leslie Knope, and just swallow the fact that this sucks, and then move on from there. So I'm gonna print out the fucking flyers with real fucking the real room, the correct room for this time. Go out during a couple different days, not the same days that I went out, to hand out flyers. So we will see next week if anyone fucking answers. So that was gay. But anyways, you gotta have hope for the future, guys. Listen, it was fantastic talking to you guys. We're hitting the 30-minute mark. It's 29:36 seconds. So yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment. If anyone actually made it to the end of the fucking video, do me a flavy, leave a comment, say you're a cunt or whatever. I want, like, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share. Go eat your vegetables, man. That's good for you. That really is good for you. I will try and get another video out within a week. I'm trying to do this more consistently. I've realized that, you know, to get anywhere, you got to really just be persistent about some shiitake mushrooms. I will post my Instagram and my Twitter along with this video so that I can tweet shit and you guys might see it. Cool beans. All right. Later.